I have pushed the button.
You have pushed the button.
I have pushed the button! Ha 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 ha! Yes. That's right, boys and girls. The time has come once again for you to embark upon a deep and dangerous journey into the forbidden land known as the Other Things Podcast. Ha ha ha!
So that's what we're doing now?
I don't know. Does anything... Masters, is there really anything that we could do with this podcast that would be considered incorrect?
Yes, not do it.
Oh, okay. This is true. We have crossed another major milestone. We've not been canceled yet. Episode 3.
Yet.
Hey, possibility always exists, particularly where I'm involved. Yeah. This will be fun. All right. So, Mr. Masters.
Yes.
Lots of stuff happened this week. Lots of stuff happened this week. Yeah, like Mixer shutting down.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
That's kind of a big thing to that we should probably begin with, because that is the one thing that like affects us a lot and our group of friends and people that we are acquainted with. We should probably start there. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't streamed on Mixer or at all in about 2 months, maybe more. At least not that I can. At least not that I can recall. That being said, I don't really care, but I understand what other people do. Now I know that you streamed a little bit earlier, and I was along there for the ride with you. That was over on Twitch. Now that we're all abandoning ship like the rats we are. Yes, but that being the case, thoughts? Is this the end of the world as we know it? Or are we all gonna be, cast to the four winds? Or
well, the question of whether it's the end of the world or not is not tied to Mixer closing. That's still up for debate at the moment.
Okay.
But
fair point.
I mean, realistically, the only thing that has changed for me is the URL I type in.
That is fair, and I don't even type in URLs. I just press links.
Well, yeah, I have a I have a bookmark.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Actually, I take that back. I have been typing in the URL, but it's been getting on my nerves because I have to get all the way to the H in Twitch before it will stop trying to take me to Twitter.
Really?
Yes, and it's very annoying. Because TWIT, or the C. So TWIT, could go either way, but Google wants to take me to Twitch, or to Twitter.
There we go. Search engine confirmed. We all need to dump Twitter and go to Parler.
Wait, what?
Oh, you haven't heard about that? There's now a big underground movement that we all need to drop Twitter and move to Parler, which is another.
What the heck is Parler?
It's another microblogging site like Twitter. It has instead of a 280 character limit, it has 1,000 characters, and they're supposed to have this big thing that no one else on the internet has, where it's like no censorship, man, and you can say whatever you want. And I'm like,
but there's not a web-based application.
What do you mean there's not a web-based application? I don't understand the words you just said at all.
Parler. Parler.me. Or is it Parler.social?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are you spelling it right?
Parler.me looks more correct.
Parler.com. Let's try that one.
No, it's definitely Parler.me.
No, it's definitely Parler.com. It is most definitely Parler.com.
Parler.com is not taking me anywhere.
Just type in Parler.
Oh, Parler.
Yeah. What were you typing in?
Parlor.
Oh, Lord. I guess this might actually be like parlay. I don't know. People are being weird. I don't really care. Um,
Hi, what's my phone number?
I haven't joined. um,
Well, Kuya always says that if there's a new website, go and get your username because you'll want it.
you make a really good point. uh, that's a really good point. Let's sign up right now, just in case.
Exactly, just in case this becomes the new thing.
Because I made a mistake before, and I actually lost my proper username on Twitter because of a error on my part, entirely my part. So let's make a proper thing where, I don't have to worry about that ever again. Alrighty, this will be fun. I think.
Yeah, because on Twitch, I now have to go by the Masters 8 because somebody 2 years ago made a profile using Masters 8 and they don't ever use it. Actually, Twitch says that they used it 2 months ago to stream some science thing. But there are no VODs, so I can't confirm that.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, Lord. This is ridiculous. You want everything. Okay. Parlor might be worth it if you can ever actually gain access to it. Holy
That's true.
crap.
I'm sitting here on enter CAPTCHA below, but there's no CAPTCHA, and it's just doing their logo over and over again.
Okay, so I got past the CAPTCHA.
I'm gonna refresh. Now I'm gonna try and log in.
Is there anything here that I all want to follow? Not really. No.
No account. Maybe I have to confirm an email.
There's a
Nope,
couple.
I don't think I ever made it that far.
There's a couple people here that I know.
Oh. All right. Let's sign up. Agree. Fill out all of this information again.
Yeah. This is really weird. This is kind of cool. I kind of wish I was able to. I mean, I could just flip over my recording application. I can show this screen, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm lazy. And yeah. And these people. Plus, yeah, I probably don't want to put out anything that's gonna reveal my personal information. Ooh, you can even.
There we go.
You can even select your profile color. I call orange.
I'm also going to call orange. Ha.
Do you ever get to set up your name? Oh, it just automatically picks up my same name as on Twitter. But no, not on Twitter. This is proper. It's at Gavisas. Ha! I have a parlor name. Yay! And it's actually me.
Do I want to follow any of these people? Let's follow NASA.
Probably not. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here.
I'm following NASA. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I followed NASA.
Wait.
Ooh.
Is
No.
SpaceX on here?
Okay, I'm gonna follow. I'm not gonna say their names, but I'm following a couple of people that I will regret following later.
I'm quite sure. The space? Nope, that's not it.
Why are so many of these people, for lack of a better word, Republicans?
Because this is okay. So I may have done a bad thing here. I was making a joke because Parler is like the secondary, is like the sub Twitter, because Twitter's been getting into a lot of issues right now with banning a bunch of conservative people. And
so you tricked me into doing this.
Not really. I didn't like. I had not signed up. I was not going to sign up. And then you're like, well, if it's going to become a new thing, you should get your username. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I'm almost certain this is not going to become a new thing.
Probably not.
However,
yes,
I am in fact going to make sure that it has my name just in case.
Yes. Hey, Elon Musk is on here. Wait, maybe. There's like 7 Elon Musks. I need my blue check mark. Which one is the right one?
No, I think it would be a red check mark on here, right?
I don't know.
Because that's their color scheme.
Well, I'm in orange. I have orange.
Well, you're orange, but the original logo was.
I need a picture of a SpaceX launch to know that this is the right one. You got to give me something.
Where is my?
Yep, I cannot confirm that any of these people are actually the proper ones, so I am not following them.
Where on earth is my? Is it in there? Yes. Okay. Here we are.
Let's see. Okay.
No, you're not in here either.
Yeah, there we go.
Where is my profile picture that I use for everything? Why are you not here?
Oh, Masters. I know exactly who I should follow on here.
Yes.
I hate to point this out, but you're not showing up.
I'm not showing up.
Yeah, is your
Oh, I haven't changed it yet.
You haven't changed it.
It's not Masters 8 yet.
Oh. Well,
I mean, it technically is. I just haven't hit save because I'm trying to find a profile picture.
oh.
And seriously, where are my profile pictures?
I only have one profile picture. I should actually change it,
Yeah, I only have one too, and I can't find where it is on my computer so that I can make it that.
I always know where mine is.
This is. I have too much storage. First world problems.
It is an issue. It is an issue. Where is it? Okay, go down here, click this dead file, and grab this one here. Yeah, oh, it's beautiful.
Come on, you've got to be in download. You shouldn't be in downloads. I should have you elsewhere. I use this picture for everything.
You use this.
Where is it?
Well, time to make a new one.
Time to make a new what?
A new profile picture, apparently, if you've lost it. Well, I mean, we knew you lost it, but...
Well, yeah, we're all mad.
Hey, we're not mad here. This is my channel.
We're mad. We're mad for being here.
Oh, that's fair. All right.
Seriously. Where?
Wait. I can actually use punctuation here.
You know what? We're just gonna use this guy. My own creation.
Your own create. Oh no, I know this one. Are you searchable now?
No, I still haven't hit save.
Oh my word. You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
What do I want to put as my my cover photo?
I don't know.
These are important things we have to take care of now.
Oh. So I searched for you and you didn't come up again, but some other people did, who are people that I used to follow on YouTube, and then they got really crazy and I don't watch them anymore. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that folder must not be go there.
I want to know. I want to know how many people are actually on here, because
no, change it back. Copy, paste, save. I am now Masters 8.
Awesome.
Huzzah!
Awesome. All right, now let's Masters 8. Search. Not.
I just followed you.
You followed me. How did you follow? I guess I'm more special than you. There we are. Masters 8 is now following me.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right, let's close this out and never come here again.
Pretty much, yeah. That's fair. Yeah, this is just...
Can't believe you just trapped me into that.
I didn't mean to. Like I said, I was not on here. You're the one who brought up the idea about, claiming your...
No. You brought it up. You knew this was going to be the outcome.
I did not know this was going to be the outcome. I was making a funny joke about going to a lesser platform, And you're like, but what if it becomes a thing? And I'm like, well, okay, that's fair. So I
I am
claim
99% sure that will never take off.
you are probably 99 to 100% correct.
Yes.
But
Because
since
Republicans don't use the internet.
that's not true.
Okay, it's not true. They don't use social media like Twitter.
That's also not true. Have you met our president?
Okay, intelligent well, that's an oxymoron.
Oh,
Uh,
I think the whole system is just messed up. Both sides are absolutely crazy. One's trying to burn.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, one side's trying to burn everything down. The other one's trying to shoot them every time they light a match. I mean,
That's an accurate description.
oh,
Not gonna lie. Okay, so
Yeah.
back to the topic at hand. Mixer is shutting down.
Mixer's shutting down. I'm so glad I had a Twitch channel years ago that I never did anything with whatsoever, so I don't have to worry about all this crap that I'm still probably not going to stream to ever. Hey, YouTube gaming is a thing.
YouTube gaming has been a thing for a while.
And it's
And
also,
I actually think that Google may see this as an opportunity to
boost that.
more strongly develop YouTube gaming.
They need to do something. It's really messed up right now. With all the COVID things, both of my churches have been streaming. One church has kept up the streaming as a live event, and the other one has been trying to use their Premiere feature. And Premiere is probably the most broken thing on the internet right now, aside from the people. That was an easy joke. I apologize. If you laughed, it definitely applies to you. Let's move on. You'll notice I laughed too. But like, you know, they're trying to make it so that everybody can watch the same service together at the same time. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on, Sparky. First things first, that's not actually how the internet works. It's a great idea, but that's not actually how the internet works. As soon as you give people any kind of option, they exercise that option every time. Now, I'm not saying that I'm, one of those folks, but there are definitely some videos that may or may not have originated from one and or both of my churches that I watch at a later date, perhaps much faster than they initially were released. Much faster, if you get my drift.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Are you unaware of the YouTube fast forward feature?
Oh, I don't use it.
Oh, you don't? Masters, this might be the thing. You're living your life in the slow lane. If you just click that sucker up, you can get about the same amount of stuff done in the same amount of time. You're just only doing one thing at a time, or two things at a time, or three things at a time, as opposed to the 7 or 12.
If a video requires me to skip it, skip through it in order to find enjoyment in it, I just stop watching the video.
Oh no, it's not about. Okay, we might have different video watching mentalities. I don't really watch videos to gain enjoyment. I watch videos for information, that I can then regurgitate back later to make myself seem smarter. Don't read too much into that. And with that being the case, I'm watching the news, I'm watching updates, I'm watching all kinds of stuff on here. Commentaries.
Speaking of watching the news,
sermons. Hold on a second. Go ahead.
I resubbed to
Philly D.
Philly D.
I almost dropped my subscription to him like 2 weeks ago. I haven't. I've been subscribed to him since 2012. Or maybe it was actually before then, like maybe 2010. Yeah, it had been 2010 because I started watching him before I got sick, um, which was already 4 years into his YouTube career. As scary as that is to think, but um, I almost dropped my subscription to him last week. It wasn't really anything that he was saying that I'd object. There's nothing really at this point that can be said that I would object to enough to stop listening to somebody. There are some times and some manners that people can say things that I don't want to hear them say it like that. We talked about we talked about other times, like one of my big no's for the future Mrs. Sasquatch. She cannot have like one of these high screechy voices. The content of her speech, notwithstanding, she could be the smartest person on earth and give me all the wisdom in the universe. If she's saying it like this, I'm sorry, I just can't deal with that. I
might be done with this podcast after that. God.
It was for illustrative purposes. It will not happen again, I promise.
It best not.
At least for this episode, unless I forget. And so, like, there's not a lot that you can do to make me stop listening to you, unless you're yelling at me or something else like that, or you're insulting my character or my person, which I can misinterpret a lot of things to be as though you're insulting my character or my person just because I think it's funny. But that's another story. In terms of like the content of what you say, I'm open to pretty much any idea that it's out there, and I'm open to hearing it, listening to it, and talking it through.
Yep, me too.
Just be aware that if you decide to engage with me on some of this stuff, there's a pretty good possibility that I've already thought about it to a certain extent, and while I'm open to having my mind changed, some stuff I think is beyond the threshold of ever being acceptable to me. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
Yeah. There are some things, like, it doesn't matter how well you argue, how well you make your point, I just am never going to be on board with it.
Yep. Same.
Case in point, pineapple on pizza. I've heard the arguments. They're well thought out. I'm never going to be on board. Every time I hear pineapple on pizza, it's just like, if I wanted my pizza to be soggy, I would just dump water on it before I ate it. I mean, or let it soak in a pool overnight or something. I would go all the way. If you're gonna go halfway, go all the way, right?
I didn't unsub to him because of what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I unsubbed to him originally because I got tired of listening to the news.
Oh,
it sucked.
I have bad news. I have really bad news for you, Masters. It didn't get any better.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I've recently had the thought, well, it's gonna keep sucking. I might as well be informed about it.
This is true. I'll be honest. For years, like since 2010, Billy D has been my primary source of news. And I don't say that willy-nilly. I mean it legitimately. I when I wanted to know what was going on, I would make it used to be 8 minutes, now it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes out of my day to watch Billy D's thing. And I learned a little bit about pop culture. I learned a little bit about world affairs, American politics, whatever's going on. It was there. I jumped on the SourceFed bandwagon. I jumped on the SourceFed nerd bandwagon. I was happy to I rejoiced with the host when all the big things happened, and then I was really sad when it all got dumped on by now this. That's a whole other story that still leaves a sore spot because SourceFed was awesome. Yep. But in the last 8 months, I've found a new news guy, and I think he's a lot better at providing a cultural insight to what's going on, because he does a lot better job of not necessarily disclosing or laying aside his own bias, but his own bias is more central than Philly D's. Philly D falls pretty far left. This guy on some things falls pretty far left, but in just his mindset and how he sees things work, he can see the argument on both sides, and then he makes his decision based on his personal feelings on it. I don't know necessarily that Philly D understands some of the counter arguments to what he espouses.
Yeah.
So I like to have someone who can actually read both sides of the aisle and then tell me back in words that both I understand and I know that they understand what my position is, and what the opposing position is. And I think the guy I've been watching for news for the last couple months, his name is Tim Pool. He has a much smaller audience than Philip DeFranco, but he is like a legitimate journalist, and he's done like on-site reporting. He started in like Occupy Wall Street back in like 2012 or something, whenever that was, and then he branched out and he did like not war zone reporting, but like unrest reporting in like Egypt during the Arab Spring, and a couple other big things. So really cool guy, and just a storied life. But he follows right down that middle line, and in areas where he disagrees with you, he can at least quote back to you a proper recanting of your position, and be like, yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from, I just disagree with you. And I'm like, well, yep. Thank you, I appreciate that. You actually tried. Some folks, they didn't try. So he's going too far my news, but that's actually kind of a commitment, because he posts a lot of content. I'm going to be honest. He posts like, if you put all this stuff together, it's like a solid 2 hours a day that he posts.
Wow.
And that's for 2 times.
What's he post this on?
On YouTube.
2 hour. Wow. That's
2 hours a day.
That's dedication.
It's split up into multiple different videos. And sometimes he like hits redundant topics, so you can kind of skip that. And he also does like a podcast that cuts up, and he talks about some other things on there with some other folks. And he cuts that up, and he puts that out there too, and that's pretty interesting as well. But like I said, sometimes some things are redundant, you can just kind of skip over those. But or at least I do. But that's where 2 times speed comes into play. Because, I mean, I understand proper presentation and wanting to fully understand and digest the entire argument, but I can talk pretty fast, which means I can also listen pretty fast. And 2 times speed is about, and he talks in a very slow, methodical way to make sure that you are fully absorbing his point, and to make sure that he is properly representing the position that he is taking on that point. And
I listened to our podcast last week on 2 times speed.
Aha!
It was great.
You found it.
I've done 2 times speed before. I just always forget when it is necessary.
I'm kind of surprised actually that I am in any way, shape, or form intelligible at 2 times speed. I don't think I've ever listened to myself at 2 times speed, and I probably should at some point, just so that I can realize that I really need to slow down. Last night, actually, I was supposed to be out playing, not out, but I was supposed to be in playing golf with your friends, with Kuya and Piratic and them. And I didn't get home in time to do that because I was working on a song that I've written.
Yep.
It's getting better than the one that I sent to you, Masters. It is improving. Unfortunately, one of the ways we found to improve it is that if we speed it up, then I don't try and sing the next note before it gets here. And that's a problem that I have.
That does sound like it would improve what I heard.
Yes. I actually have another recording which is better, and I also realized another thing that I was doing there. I was trying to sing a harmony part without any of the other parts of the harmony.
Yeah, I noticed that sometimes as well.
And I'm like, oh, that's not what's supposed to be sung there. I wrote this song. Come on. Come on, Gabby, figure this out.
Yeah.
So now that we're working on that, and we're going to speed it up a little bit, it should get better, in theory. The theory is still a work in progress. But someday you may get another recording, and I'll be like, hey, is this in any way, shape, or form better? And you can be like, no.
And let's be honest. I'm going to be honest.
Yes, I know. That's why, well, I mean, I was actually sending that to you at that time because I've been working on it all day, and I was really frustrated, and I didn't want to deal with anybody, and you're like, you're on me to like show up for something, and I forget what it was, and I'm like, here, just amuse yourself.
Yes.
This is what I've been doing all day. Validate me. And then you tell me, what is this crap?
Exactly. That's what I'm here for.
Friendship with
Tell
masters
you
is
that
a
all
humbling
your
experience.
work. Sorry?
I said friendship with masters is a humbling experience.
Tell it like it is, man.
Oh. Yes. Anyway, how we got there from Mixer shutting down, I do not know. Do I care? Also no. Yeah.
God, there was something I was going to say, and then you kept rambling, so it left my brain.
That happens a lot. I mean, you know me. We are now entering into like what, our 5th hour of time spent together today.
Yes, and we had so many things that we were going to talk about, and we will get to those things.
I have them all written
and
down.
we had to stop ourselves because we were afraid we would run out of things to talk about.
Oh.
Which I don't think is ever going to be possible, but
before we move on,
just to be on the safe side.
Before we move on from social media, I have a complaint to lodge with the YouTube authorities. And I understand before I lodge this complaint why the policy is probably in place. But I'm trying to put our video out last week, and I'm putting all the tags in and things, and I came to a particular tag that was topical to our discussion.
Uh-huh.
And I entered it in, and I pressed the comma button to move on to the next one, and it just disappeared. It's gone. I'm like, well, that was a weird glitch, and so I typed it again, and it's gone again. Well, that's really weird. Oh, is it maybe something else? So I typed in a different tag, and I hit comma, and that one came in, and so I typed in the first word again, and that one disappeared. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Why is that not allowed? And then I thought about it for about a half a second, and I realized why it's probably not allowed. And then there's another reason why it's probably not allowed as well, which is precisely the reason we're talking about it in the first place. But apparently, you cannot use the word spank or spanking as a YouTube tag.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, I have a really good idea as to why.
I have 2 good ideas to why.
Yes.
One is by. Go ahead.
Yeah. One of them is a frequented area on certain websites.
I have a question, Masters.
Yes.
How do you know?
Oh, I know.
And the other one is precisely because of why we're talking about it. It's because, some people view it as being like child abuse. And it's like, well, I think we made our point last time. If you want to slog, if you are unaware of what we're talking about and you want to slog through wherever that was in last week's podcast, you have our blessing and our sympathy. Or wait a second. If you go searching for it, you've been warned in advance. You've already experienced the last 30 minutes of this. You don't have my sympathy. Screw you. That's a problem. Breaking the fourth wall is fun. But yeah, I just found that interesting that like apparently there are some words that you can't use as video tags in YouTube, which, I mean, again, I understand why they would not do that in either case. Also, don't understand why they would do that in either case, because like some It is an open source platform. It's like, this is what people talk about. It is still an ongoing discussion. It's not a settled topic. There's still a lot of back and forth on this one. I think that there should be some, again, hey, let's go back to Parler. I'm kidding. Let's never open that up again.
For a second, I was like, wait, what are you even talking about now? But that's how forgettable that website is.
It's so forgettable. It is, yeah. It's good
in
for
20 years. If it ever expands and actually becomes a real thing, we will go, that sounds really familiar. And then we'll go to make an account and be like, oh, I've already got an account.
No, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to go to make an account, and it's going to say that account already exists, and then we're going to curse the guy who stole our account name.
Well, no, because my computer will automatically log me in. So
you're saying you're still going to have the same computer in 20 years?
Hashtag non-spawn. But LastPass, get it, use it. It'll make your life much simpler.
You tell.
It's only like $26 a year to use.
What is LastPass? I've never heard of it.
It is a password manager that saves your passwords in encrypted files so that you are the only person that has access to them. And they can generate passwords for you that are of a secure and random nature, so as not to let you use passwords over and over again. They have an app. They have a Chrome extension so that it automatically fills in your password when you've logged into the main account.
Okay.
And you can also use it to keep an eye on your credit score and all this other stuff. It's a personal security platform thing.
Nice.
And I use it daily.
Man, I thought I was smart. How many years ago was that? It had to have been like 2004. I was reading one book in one series of a larger genre of books. I'm not going to get any more specific than that. Actually, I could probably tell you the exact book and you still wouldn't find this thing in there. But I found this one word in this book that just fascinated me. And I took that word and I made that my password. And that word has been my password on pretty much everything since 2004. Now, I say that, and everyone's going to start trying to figure out what the word is, and you never will, ever. It's too unique. It's only mentioned one time in any kind of print that I'm aware of. So it's a made-up word, but it's still important to me, for all the wrong reasons. But I have used that word as a basis, and then I have made infinite numbers of combinations based off this word, so that every time I type in a new password for a website, I have a new password, but I never forget it because I know it's always based off of the same word.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I never forget my passwords because I can never remember them. Because they're 15 characters long and a jumbled mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't have to because the internet overlords have them, and I feel safe about that.
I don't particularly feel safe about the internet overlords in general, but that's me. But hey, what was the name of this place again?
LastPass.
LastPass. If you are watching this podcast and you want to sponsor us, do something better with your money.
And they do.
I mean,
they do sponsor people.
Oh,
is the thing they do. That's how I learned about them. Linus Tech Tips.
I was gonna say.
Also brought to you by Linus Tech Tips, and I can technically give a link for this.
If it's on my channel, there will be no link because I'm lazy.
No.
Oh.
For you, not for the link.
Oh.
Yes. So there's this other thing called privacy.com,
Okay.
and you link um, your card information to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it will randomly generate credit cards for you that you can use across websites online so that you can better keep your actual card safe. You can set up cards that are one-time use. You can set spend limits on them. You can delete a card at any time. So if you use one to sign up for Netflix and you decide, okay, I'm done with Netflix, but you don't want to go through the process of actually stopping the next Netflix subscription, just go delete the card that it's pulling from.
Huh. It's.
Yeah, I used it recently to buy a program from a sketchy website.
That, I mean, number one, why are you buying things from sketchy websites?
Because it's a DVD ripper. I'm trying to digitize all of my physical media.
There we have it, folks. Masters has officially admitted to scalping
for personal consumption in a digital manner, and for longevity, that I don't have to buy them again.
When this non-monetized video gets demonetized, I want you to know that it's your fault.
Hey, that's perfectly okay.
Actually, probably as soon as we started talking about the website that we're never going to mention again.
Oh.
That was probably enough. They were done. Oh, man.
I love how it, like, even in the Google search, when I looked for it, it didn't show up. Of course, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah. But, like, they didn't think to add those tags and to be like, hey, maybe someone's trying to spell it this way. Of course, there's probably something to be said.
I kind of want to know what the parlor.me is now.
I don't know.
Because it didn't have any information. It just said parlor on the website and had a link for you to install the...
That might be one of those websites where they do allow the YouTube tag.
Well, you're probably not wrong there, guys.
I mean, well, there was at one point there was a study that was out. There's something like 60% of everything on the internet is of that nature.
Yep.
And I'm like, why? Who has that kind of time? And I mean, like think about this. Just stop and think about this for a second. Let me look this up real quick. All right. So every day there are take it back. Every minute of every day, there is an average of 300 hours of new video uploaded to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So 60 times 24 is a whole bunch of content is uploaded to YouTube every single day. That's a lot of content. That's a lot of video off of one website, arguably one of the biggest on the internet. And that is still being outpaced by content that does allow content. Yeah, the other content. And I'm like, that's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Don't think about it too much, Gabby.
I'm like, there are so many jokes I want to make right now, and none of them are appropriate. And I already have the tag turned off. That
my word!
What?
Okay. So We always venture into this category eventually in one of our podcasts, which is the topic of what are you currently doing other than sitting here talking to Gavi?
Looking at gun memes. Yes. What are
Huh?
you? Never mind. Go on. What are you doing?
I just found my first diamond on my new world. And I only had to dig. Let me see. I am looking at. Let's see, -210, and now I'm going to run all the way back. I've just been sitting here digging while we're talking.
Dig.
Exactly. I just filled my inventory with iron picks and just went to digging.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So -210 is where the diamond was.
Yeah.
I've been digging in a straight line, 4x4. I'm making a giant mine shaft.
That's not a giant mine shaft.
I said I'm making it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not done. I'm still going.
Okay.
Let's see here. -210 is where the diamond was. I'm already at -540 and still going.
Mm-hmm. I've seen people who've made 5x5 mine shafts down there. And my first question was, again, referencing our last topic, why?
Okay, so the bottom of my mine starts at -670. So it took me 460 blocks to find diamond.
I think statistically, you dug within one block of like 4 other diamond pockets and didn't see them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as you start to strip
and that's
that
why
out,
I'm going to continue to dig in this very long fashion for a very long time, and then I'm going to start poke holing all the way back down.
I did a stupid thing. Shocker, I know, but I dug in my world. I dug a 3x3, something like about 700-800 blocks, and there's a bunch of different ways you can get down there. You can run. So I decided I was going to put myself in a minecart system to just ferry myself back and forth between my home base and the end of the mine shaft. And on the one hand, I'm glad that I don't have to press W the whole way down. On the other hand, I sit in this little minecart just like kind of putting along going, man, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Oh my goodness. You want to hear something even better?
Oh, please. It doesn't
This
take much.
one diamond that I found
Yes?
is indeed one diamond.
Professional right there. That's how you know
Yeah.
you're a true Minecrafter.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even enough for an enchanting table or anything else. Well,
Yes,
actually,
it is. You only need one for an enchanting table.
no, it's not. You need 4 for an enchanting table.
Oh, you're right, because you've got to dig up the obsidian.
Yep.
The actual...
Checkmate.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. And continuing on. All right, back to our other topic.
Oh, I think I'm done with the YouTube tag. That went on a long tangent that it didn't need to go on.
As do most of our conversation.
Again, how we get to some things from other things, I don't know. But yeah. So let's talk about a happy thing first. A nice happy thing, and then as you get deeper into your hole and stop caring so much, I'll be able to just rant and rave about another one angrily. Let's talk about the Muppets.
Okay. So Disney Plus is making a new Muppets show.
I'm so excited. I love the Muppets.
I'm super excited, dude. That's all I've been watching here recently is the Muppets. Like I bought the first 3 seasons on DVD, and I have been working on digitizing them and watching them, and I love it so freaking much.
Are those ever?
It makes me happy.
Is the original show ever going to end up on Disney Plus?
I'm sure it will eventually.
I hope it does.
But it would only be the first 3 seasons as of right now.
That's okay.
Because the 4th and 5th season are under some sort of dispute of some kind.
Okay.
And Disney won't release them. Like they've never been on DVD. They've only ever aired.
Huh.
And so I don't know. There was some mention a year or two ago that they were working on releasing seasons 4 and 5, but like I said, that was a year or two ago. So maybe they'll show up on Disney Plus at some point. But I don't know.
Let's see.
But anyways, while you're seeing,
Yeah.
my sister sent me the trailer for it, and I was super excited, and I'm still super excited for it, even though this happened. But I listened to it, and Kermit the Frog sounds a little different.
He does.
And by little, I mean like, oh my god, is that even Kermit the Frog?
I know.
And I commented on the video and said, my Kermit the Frog is better than that. Oh my word.
You know what it sounded like?
Nope.
Do you know what it sounded like, Masters?
Nope.
It sounded like Kermit had a frog in his throat. Hey!
Oh. Wow, Monkey would be proud.
Oh,
I'm ashamed. Monkey would be proud.
Oh,
how did I not see that?
That made me so happy.
Oh my word. Yeah, that none of the other things we've talked about is going to get us canceled before that.
that was yeah. Yeah, it's just I looked it up. There's just a bunch of different rights issues about who owns what, and people don't really know. Apparently, different people own the music, and different people own the footage.
Yeah.
And so okay, I gotcha. I understand. I think it's stupid, but I understand.
As all things generally are.
Did you know that the Muppets have a YouTube channel?
No.
Yes.
This is new information.
It was new information to me about 3 months ago, and I think I tweeted out about it. Because
I've been off of Twitter for a long while.
Yeah.
But I just recently got back on because I was trying to help promote people on Twitter.
But like they've had this thing for years. Like years and years. I think the oldest video on there's like 6 years old or something like that. And when I found it earlier this year, it only had 8 years. How old is this thing? 9 years? 10 years? 10 years old. 2010 was when this thing came out. Wow.
Wow.
Like it looks like they launched it right about the same time.
2009.
2009. Okay.
November of 2009.
Well, it looks like they launched it around the same time as they did the Muppet movie.
The newer iteration.
Yeah, the new iteration.
Yep.
Which that's how.
Why are people shooting fireworks?
I don't know.
Somebody's shooting fireworks outside of my house.
That's sounds like fun. But like they've had this for years, and when I found this like 6 months ago, they had like less than 500,000 subscribers, and I'm like, and even now they only have 843,000, which on YouTube is like that's a drop in the bucket. Who cares about 843,000 subscribers? I'm like, it's the Muppets.
Yes.
Like
oh my word, I am going to binge watch the heck out of this.
Oh, some of the best stuff ever is on here. I know.
Oh my word!
I noticed that change in Kermit, the one that they did on couple 2 months ago, where Kermit sings "Rainbow Connection," which is one of my favorite. Is not just like one of my favorite songs the Muppets do. It's one of my legitimate favorite songs. I love "Rainbow Connection."
Yes.
It is just beautiful. But there's so much good stuff on here. One of my favorite videos that I will just troll people with all day long is the Swedish chef makes popcorn shrimp, which is a travesty of the highest order, and I love it. I love that. I love that one so much.
I can tell in your voice.
It's so great. But like, it's the Muppets, and they only have they have less than 900,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm like, is there no
right, people?
Is there no nostalgia?
I know there's only one of you that I know there's only one of you that watches this or listens to this, but Sasquatch, go watch the Muppets. Go subscribe.
Go subscribe to the Muppet channel. Give them one more subscriber from us, man. Do it for old time's sake. Do it for nostalgia. Do it for Miss Piggy.
I just subscribed.
Okay, maybe not for Miss Piggy. Do it for someone else, but no.
Do it for Sam.
Do it for Sam
Eagle.
Yes, the Legal Eagle.
Speaking of Sam Eagle, I have been binge watching everything Muppets.
Yes.
Since I got the show.
I say that just.
So,
I'm gonna let you finish. Go pull Connie here. I'm gonna let you finish. But that's how I started my year. I started my year by rewatching every single Muppet movie and everything Muppets that was on Disney Plus. You may continue.
Yes. And so, Amazon Prime has some of them that Disney doesn't. Just so you're aware.
I don't have Disney. I don't have Amazon Prime.
No.
But now we're all going back to Twitch.
I watched the Muppet TV show that aired on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty terrible.
I disagree. I like that show.
I didn't dislike it. I disliked some aspects of it. I did not dislike it as a whole. One of the major aspects of it that I absolutely hated was how they treated Sam Eagle. Not once did he mention America.
True.
And it drove me batty because one of the last episodes, it basically hands him the line, and they don't do it. And it drives me batty.
And may I say, your Sam Eagle is spot on. That was beautiful. I was moved by that.
If you could have seen my movements, I did the exact same movements he does too. America, and that was worse.
That was much worse. Yeah, you tried to set that one up, and it was better when it was just natural.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I didn't really tie that together. But I mean, the presentation and the conflict and the story that they were presenting, I liked that. Like,
oh yeah. So like, because I watched all of the new stuff. Like, I almost worked my way backwards.
Okay.
Because I watched all of the movies first, and then I went and watched the new TV show, and then I went and watched the old TV show. And I've seen the Muppets at Disney World probably a good 30, 40 times.
Right.
Hasn't changed since the first time I watched it, but I go and watch it every time.
I would have watched it at least 3 more times while we were down there if we hadn't have been spending so much time waiting in line for the Millennium Falcon.
If we hadn't been spending so much time flying the Millennium Falcon.
I'm just going to throw this out here. Disney, not that you're listening to this, not that anyone from Disney is ever going to watch this, but just throw this out here. Great ride. Love the ride. Can't wait to go back, do it a whole bunch more, and try and unlock the special Chewbacca way of doing things. But I want to throw something else in there. There needs to be a way for us to just absolutely lose. We need to be able to crash the Falcon, like, legitimately. That would be so fun. I mean, I understand that if there's 2 pilots and they decide that they just want to, like, ram this sucker into the ground, that might ruin the experience for everybody in the back 4 seats. But you gotta let us.
Absolutely not.
You gotta let us.
We've had some horrible pilots.
You gotta let us do.
Oh my goodness, we had some horrible pilots.
No. I mean, like you gotta make it so that we can actually crash, and then it goes nowhere beyond that.
Oh yeah,
that
needs to happen.
That needs to happen.
That'll never happen because the whole point of it is to make it believable that you got back to Batuu. Yeah. And so if you crashed it and you didn't make it back to Batuu, right? I mean, they could do something like you crashed it, and it's like, oh, Chewie's not going to be happy about this, and then they towed you back to Batuu. They could do that.
Yeah,
but even that would be a little bit more work than I think they're going to be putting into it.
Well, Hondo's ship is there with you, so he could technically do the noble thief thing and come back and pull you out. Mostly because he doesn't want to get his arms ripped off by the Wookiee when
This is also true.
I mean, you could run that into the story. I think that this could work, but I think that'd be
Disney,
a lot of fun.
Get on it.
Get on this, Disney. Get your imagination.
Yeah, I'm excited when I go. So we talked about this earlier, but I have a large irrational claustrophobia fear, which apparently extends to wearing masks. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to mentally handle wearing a mask. However, I am going to try my best to handle a mask long enough to ride Rise of the Resistance.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh. Masters?
Yes.
I know that Rise of the Resistance is a thing. I know that Rise of the Resistance is probably the Star Wars experience that I've always hoped and wished that I could take part in. And I want you to know, right now, in front of the internet, God, and the one person who's still here, maybe, they're dropping it out. They're skimming. They might have skipped this part, but if they're here, in front of them too, I want you to know that even if I'm wrong and it's not the experience that I hope it is or that I want it to be, don't tell me about this ride.
Oh. So I can't send you pictures and videos of it when I'm going through it?
Nope.
Because I've already technically ridden it virtually.
Yep.
I did when it first came out. I did watch some of the ride throughs, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that when I go to ride it for myself, the videos are going to pale in comparison.
Okay. Because I have heard all about these videos, and I have seen the links to these videos, and I've had them embedded in stuff that has been on my screen before, and I have intentionally not clicked them because I want this to be an authentic experience. It's kind of like when I went to see The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm not going to get on a Star Wars tangent again, but I'm going to use this as an example because I saw the first trailer and I'm like, okay, that has my interest.
Yes. I don't want it to lose.
I don't want to have anything else ruin this for me. If I come out of this theater and I am not 100% satisfied, I want to know that it was exactly this experience that did not satisfy me, and not because I walked in here with a bunch of preconceived notions.
Yeah, I do that for just about any movie that I ever want to go see in theaters. I do not watch the trailer. I will watch the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
And just to get the excitement going.
Right.
And then I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything else. I want to experience it firsthand.
And like, I'm a detail picker, so I even limit the number of times that I will watch something. Like even that teaser trailer, I'll only watch it like maybe 5 times tops.
Oh no, I only watch it once.
Well, I'll watch it 3 times out of excitement, then I'll be like, okay, well, I got to show my mom, and then I got to show this person, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't watch anymore. And then I'm done. I just have to back off. But it's like, oh, and it kills me inside because I'm like, I know I want to watch this. I know I want to see this. I want to do, but like I got to stay out. I got to back off. Can't do it because if I do it, it's over. And I'll go in with this preconceived notion about what I'm going to see. And I know because I've done that before.
Just in case you were wondering, I know you weren't.
Okay.
But it just struck me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did it hurt?
my computer's calmed down now that I'm not playing Monster Hunter World
Yeah, I figured that.
and streaming.
Gotcha. Monster Hunter in general has like this thing about it where it always taxes the machine that it's or takes the machine that it's on as far as it can go. Like, um,
Well, I was only hitting about 70% on my CPU and GPU. But
yeah, but Monster Hunter Iceborne is a 4K 60 game.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't have a 4K monitor, so
I don't either. But like, if you were to crank this thing up as high as it can go,
although I do have a 4K TV,
yeah. Well, if
that
you were
would be
to,
a terrible experience.
your computer would like draw a knife and would shoot its own processor at your leg.
No, my computer could handle 4K.
Uh-huh.
It's just that the latency on the TV would be atrocious.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
Speaking, hey, look, my second diamond, third diamond, at negative 122. So it took almost another 100 blocks
Uh-huh.
to get my next diamond.
I almost wonder about this.
And
Okay,
I only got 3.
So remember when we were playing Monster Hunter earlier, and you were having difficulty with the fighting Devil Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple of like in things with Monster Hunter that you don't really know unless you have them explained to you, because tutorials with Monster Hunter are notoriously bad. You don't actually dodge things in Monster Hunter by dodging away from them. It's common logic that you dodge away, but actually to dodge things in Monster Hunter, you dodge toward them. As weird as that is. And I noticed that this has been happening since I got World, and I've been noticing it more and more, like a lot today, and then I noticed a lot while I was watching you play. I am coming rapidly to the conclusion that some latency in the monitor might serve World some good, because when you press the dodge button, you have a certain number of invincibility frames, which in which nothing can actually harm you, but you don't actually have those all the way through your dodging motion. You only have them for like, a tenth or 20th of a second, or maybe 10th or 5th. I mean, it goes the other way. So like, and with extra evasion, you could actually get it up to like a half a second of evasion window. But with that being the case, if you're dodging something and you dodge too early, then those frames have already passed, and you're back as a normal being. You're just locked into the animation, and then you get whacked by Devil Joe's tail again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And so I'm wondering if actually some latency in Monster Hunter World might not be a good thing, because I caught myself dodging early on a lot of things today, and it was frustrating me because I'm like, man, is the dodge button just broken? And then I'm like, no. And when I would review it in my mind about what happened, I'm like, okay, I pressed the button and I went into the animation and then I got hit. Oh, the evasion frames had already passed. And so it's like, I wonder if actually some latency for Monster Hunter World might not be a good thing, because then it would start making things a little bit more intuitive, so that then by the time like what you see relates to what you do, you might actually be at the right time. It's a really weird concept, and it takes a lot of practice to get the dodging down. And dodging in Monster Hunter World it might be just a keyboard thing, but I found it to be pretty useless in general. There are some things that you can dodge around, but not that many. But just a thought that occurred to me as we were playing. I'm like, I wonder if we're all just dodging too early here.
Yeah, I also noticed or learned, I guess I should say, today that my headphones are they're Bluetooth, and so there's an inherent delay with them when the receiving device and the broadcasting device are not Bluetooth 4.1 and above. Which I know my receiver transceiver is USB 4.0,
Right.
so it's not 4.1. So I have a delay in my audio to my headphones, and I haven't noticed it since I've been using them. Mostly because um, it's all I've ever not like if most of the time I don't pay attention to what I'm watching, and so I don't notice that the lip sync is just off. But if I
Oh.
start looking at it, I can definitely tell the lip sync is off.
Ooh.
But I bought speakers,
Uh-huh.
and so I use my speakers a lot more now.
Right.
When if I'm not in a voice call with somebody, I'm using my speakers.
Gotcha.
And so today I was watching the behind the scenes for Frozen 2,
Uh-huh.
and there's Frozen 2 singing.
Yep.
So I was sitting there watching it, and the guy started singing, and I was like, "Why is it so off?" Because I'd put my headphones on to get ready for us to play Monster Hunter World,
Right.
and it was throwing me off, and it bothered because when I first started using these headphones as Bluetooth, the delay was horrible. Like it was like 2 second delay.
Wow.
And I found out it was because I was trying to use Windows built-in spatial AI, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
for 3D audio type stuff. Turned that off, and the delay went down to almost nothing. But there's still a delay, and I didn't realize that until I was sitting there watching this behind the scenes and watching him sing, and it would be off, and it was bothering me. And so I spent a good 15-20 minutes before you actually got on trying to figure that out, and then I realized that it's because it's 4.1, or it needs to be Bluetooth 4.1, and I only have 4.0. But it's not a bad delay. It's like maybe a 100th of a second delay.
Yeah.
But I know I can see that 100th of a second delay,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's been bothering me. And so now when I'm got my headphones on, it's just like, okay, just don't look at their mouth. You'll be fine.
Yeah. There are a few things that irked me more than desynced audio. Like,
Yes.
Again, this is the era of the YouTube church service. I have turned off my own church's services partway through because there's an audio desync, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I'm like,
So when I was running my old church, they streamed directly to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And so we used to do. Actually, do they do YouTube? No, they do YouTube. We tried Facebook once, and it just was bad. So we stopped. And so I was the one doing it, and after about the third or fourth video, I started when I was watching the playback, I was noticing that audio desync,
Yeah.
and it was driving me mad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I literally spent 4 or 5 hours researching and figuring out how to get rid of that.
Yep.
And once I finally did, it was beautiful. Of course, then our music pastor decided that he was going to mess around with the soundboard to make it sound better in the service, and it completely messed up what it sounded like online, and that was a whole nother issue.
Oh yeah. That there should be separate mixing boards for in service
Absolutely.
versus being online, because they do not
Absolutely,
sound.
and that's what I kept trying to tell them, and they were like, "Okay, well, we'll do it eventually." It's like, okay, whatever.
Like,
Bye.
one of my churches is like brand new, just starting, and they only have the money for one mixing board. Which, okay, but it's a very high-end mixing board, and so they actually have the ability to run two mixes at the same time, which they do, and so their online sounds pretty good.
Diamond.
I say my other church, they're not there yet. They have the money for to run 2 mixing boards because you don't actually need that all the bells and whistles of like the in-house one for the online one. As long as it sounds like pretty good, like Sister Tammy Sue over there doesn't sound like she's trying to drown out everybody on the other side of the street across the way. I mean, then you're usually pretty okay. But that's not the case. The online, particularly the singing, when it's just someone talking, it's okay. Yeah. But when they're singing, oh my, and I am a singer at my church, and
yeah, I know I've listened to one of your services before.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. No,
it really was actually.
Yeah, the singing the singing is not good online. Not at all. Yeah. It is painful to listen to. And there are ways around that, and it's very simple. You just get a small separate mixing board, and you're like, okay, singers down, drums up, this, that, and the other. Sister Tammy Sue, turn her down, and life is good. And for the record, there is nobody named Tammy Sue at either of my 2 churches. It's an illustrative point, people.
Nobody asked.
Well, in the off chance that one of the 2 people, like one of the people from either of my 2 churches, finds this video and puts together this is me, aside from the people who actually know that this is my YouTube channel and sometimes come over here to watch, shame on all of you. Aside from that, yeah, they would know that there is no Tammy Sue. But just for the illustrative point, yeah, I'm not picking on anybody in particular. I'm making the illustrative point that sometimes those levels are not accurate. And when I go up there, my first thing that I tell all our sound people is if my bar is moving at all from 0, you have me up too high. And they don't like that very much. And so I end up being on the platform and all I can hear is myself, and that's a terrible thing because there I am supposed to be harmonizing with other people, and I can't do it if I can't hear them. It's a problem.
That is a problem.
That is a whole other issue. Yeah. Not fun. How did we get there from the Muppets?
That's a good question.
Because that was the last legitimate topic that was brought up. I don't know.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Oh, man.
Other things, man. Other things.
Other things. That's just how it goes. Oh, but yeah. I am very much looking forward to this new Muppet Show. I hope they do another movie. I thought both of their last 2 movies were really good.
I think if they get this right, that is absolutely a possibility.
That needs to be like on the slate. I want a release date. Come on. I mean, although to be fair, you gotta give Kermit a Halls or something. He's like, Kermit the Frog here, and I'm like, no, that's Bullwinkle.
He was like Kermit the Frog here, and hey, welcome to the show.
Your Kermit is still better than their Kermit.
I was trying to do it bad.
I know.
Kermit the Frog here.
That's
welcome to the Muppet Show.
I think what they did was rather than have somebody try to sound like Kermit, they went out and found somebody who just kind of sounds like Kermit, and they just had him speak normally.
That does sound like what it is. It's like he's not doing an impression. That's just his voice.
It's just his voice.
He sounds Kermit adjacent.
Yeah.
They're trying to humanize me, but I'm a frog, and they should know that by now.
That's really good. Hire masters for Kermit. Oh my word. Also for Sam.
Well, pretty much anything Jim Henson voiced.
Okay, so you're not doing Miss Piggy.
I'm not doing Miss Piggy. No, I cannot do Miss Piggy.
That is so okay.
Except for maybe. Hey!
Nope, you still didn't get it. Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
That is one of the things that
but like
truly. Go ahead.
one of my favorite things to do is the Swedish Chef.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, if I knew just a little bit of Swedish, I could make it better.
I have some very bad news for you, Masters.
Yes.
I don't believe the Swedish Chef actually speaks anything in Swedish.
Oh, he doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. But I think that it would bring more to the character. It would just slip in a Swedish word every now and again.
So wait a that
like having nothing to do with the topic, just a random Swedish word.
So wait a second. Does that make the Swedish Chef a racial stereotype?
That makes everything from the Muppets a racial stereotype.
Please don't cancel the Muppets.
Oh,
please don't cancel the Muppets.
That was another thing that drove me crazy about the Muppets was how they treated Miss Piggy. Especially in that one episode where it was show the tail. Like it was supposed to be like a body image thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like it's Miss Piggy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't care about body image. She's Miss Piggy. She is the most fabulous thing that there ever was to walk on this earth. And she knows it.
And if you disagree with her, you are not long for this earth.
Yes. And if you disagree with her, you are wrong.
not just wrong. You're gonna die. That Miss Piggy is one of the things that really it amazes me and it creeps me out at the same time about the Muppets. Because Miss Piggy is voiced by Frank Oz.
Yes.
And Frank Oz is the voice of Yoda.
Yes.
Infinite galactic wisdom, Miss Piggy.
Yoda! You seek Yoda!
Masters, I'm going to have to ask you to stop that because it's nowhere near your Kermit. I'm going to be honest. No. We all have our gifts. That's not one of yours.
Nope. I can sound like Jim Henson. I told you I can't do Miss Piggy, so what makes you think I could do Yoda?
I didn't think you could. You thought you could, and you tried it. I know I don't do a good Yoda. That's why I don't do Yoda. Oh, man.
Yeah.
They're just like... Yeah, Frank Oz does Miss Piggy and Yoda. It just needs to be out there in the public consciousness that people understand that Miss Piggy is Yoda and Yoda is Miss Piggy. Wait a second.
Broke up. You broke up a lot just then. I don't know if that's my headphones or if that went through, but
I don't know. So I'll say it again. People need to have this in the public consciousness that Yoda is Miss Piggy and Piggy is Yoda. And I want to see a fan cut of Star Wars where they replace Yoda with Miss Piggy. I just want to see it.
Well, hey, your idea. Get on it.
I do not have
how
that.
The internet works, man.
I do not have that level of expertise. There we go. The Muppets need to do like a Star Wars spoof.
There is actually an episode of the Muppet Show where Star Wars comes on.
I know. I have seen that.
I have not. I haven't made it there yet. It's in season 4 or 5, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen clips of it, but yeah, Luke Skywalker and Han Solo were talking to Kermit, and yeah. But yeah, it's like that's super cool. But yeah, there needs to be like a legitimate, do it like Spaceballs. By the way, I'm still waiting for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, because there was a poster that came out in 2017 that promised us that Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money was coming out, and I need that movie. Mel Brooks, don't die yet. We need you to finish this movie. Yes.
Don't say that. It's 2020.
Hey. Did you hear the meme?
That's just a challenge to the universe.
Did you hear the meme a couple years ago about?
Yes, about Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
had
Kevin. We had Bob Hope and Johnny Cash and I forget who the other one was, and now it's like we have no hope, we have no cash.
No
Kevin Bacon, please don't die.
Yes. I bet he loved that meme.
Oh man. Some people, just by virtue of their name, are a national treasure. Like, they don't need anything more than name recognition, and they're just good to go. Some people actually have to work at it to have a decent personality and generally likable and an awesome eyebrow like The Rock. He works at being a national treasure. Kevin Bacon has a birthright to it. Unless it's actually a stage name. I don't know. I never looked that up. Is Kevin Bacon's real name actually Kevin Bacon? Now we have to know. Have I been believing a lie? Real name.
You're actually looking at it. This is this important.
This is this important. It has to be answered right now. It is Kevin Bacon. Yes.
Please tell me his mother's name is Mary.
Don't know. Getting there. Wikipedia, the source for all knowledge in the universe. Early life. His father was named Edmund.
Edmund
His
Bacon?
mother, Ruth.
Ruth Bacon.
Ruth Bacon. I didn't know.
I can get on board with that.
It's okay. But like, bacon. Yep, that's fun. There's just something had to be.
that name just makes me think of. I don't remember what it was I was watching, but they were talking about baby names. And was it? Is it Friends? It might be Friends, where I think Rachel. They were trying to come up with names for Emma.
Okay.
And I think like Ruth or something came out like that, and she was like, "We're having a baby, not an 80-year-old woman."
Oh, I've known people with names like that.
I know 2 Ediths. I've met 2 Ediths in my life. One was an 80-year-old woman, and the other one was a 16-year-old girl.
So, I used to work in financial services, and the office that I worked in had a like a moniker, a derogatory, a self-proclaimed in culture derogatory term for people who were all talk and no work, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, this word got used over and over and over again. I'm like, well, actually, I kind of like that name as in general. The word is Mavis. And so it's like, he says he's going to go do this, that, and the other, and he didn't do it, so he's just a Mavis, right? Well, Mavis is actually used to be a fairly common woman's name, and I'm like, actually, Mavis isn't bad. I could get behind Mavis. But then there's that connotation, and I'm still friends with all these people, and so if I ever had a child and named her Mavis, I would be ridiculed to the day I died, and she would be too, so I can't do that. But it's like, sometimes those in-jokes aren't as harmless as they seem. I'm just saying. Because I had okay, so, for clarity, Masters and myself are both currently single. One of us at one point was not currently single, but now he is. Not to
Technically, that's true for both of us. It's just that mine was less single than yours.
True.
Just to put that out there.
There's a real.
I mean, you haven't been forever alone.
I want to make a baseball joke right here.
What's on the second?
What? No, that's good. That's a great baseball joke. That's not the baseball joke I wanted to make.
Oh, okay.
It was about running around the bases. But and how some of us have just never.
How some of us have made it home.
Some of us more about how some of us have never quite made it out of the dugout. But that's it's not entirely true. Mostly true. 99% true. But yeah.
Hello, water.
It's like when I say hello, hole. But which is also topical. But in this particular case.
That was dumb of me. I should have put the water out.
Yeah, both of us are unmarried. both of us have no significant other, and both of us, from any of our relationships, no matter how far they have or have not gone in the past, have no offspring to speak of. Unless I'm mistaken. Am I mistaken, Masters?
You are not mistaken.
I didn't think I was mistaken. I think that would have come up at some point when I was talking with your mother.
It definitely would have. And you would have met him or her.
Uh-huh. That would... Okay. There's a Reddit out there that I can't say the name of because I don't swear. I don't swear on this channel. I don't swear in real life. I don't swear anywhere. But it's Am I the Blank? Where people...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You've heard of this story?
And not the story, but I've heard of this subreddit.
Okay, so I heard of this subreddit because of the story that was posted on there. And I'm certain a lot of people who are watching this podcast... Well, okay, there are not a lot of people watching this podcast, but the one or two people who are here...
Sass, have you heard of the story?
Yes.
Let's just call him out. He's the only one here.
He's the only one here.
Kuya's smart enough to stay away.
He is. Hey, now's a good time to bring up Idiot. No. No. So the story in question was that there was this mother. I think it was a mother. It might have been a father. They didn't really identify themselves as to what relation they were to their child, only that it was their child. And that they were trying to get their kid, who was now off from school because of all the COVID things, to get up at a regular time. And he did it okay for a couple weeks, and then he kind of fell back. And so to shock his system and get him to wake up on time, they deleted his Minecraft world, which he'd been working on pretty much every day for like a year.
Yes, you are. You are, in fact, the
thing. You are the thing. You're the thing we're not going to say, but everybody else can fill in the blank. Okay?
Yes.
You are the thing.
You are the blankety blank.
Okay. In terms of punishment, the punishment should fit the crime. The punishment did not fit the crime.
Not at all. Oh, my word. Could you imagine Kuya losing his world?
Kuya would kill somebody. And, yeah,
Kuya has lost his world. But it wasn't because somebody deleted it. It was because his hard drive crashed or something like that.
I was taking that joke in another direction. That's okay. We're gonna leave that where it lies. Anyway, so I kind
of want to know what you were thinking. I don't even know.
Okay, but so the Reddit exists out there, and that was how I found the Reddit, because that story got posted on Twitter, and I'm like, oh yes, you definitely are. I mean, I understand. The parent may not have understood what they were doing. They might be, one of them stodgy old people who doesn't understand about these kids and their dang video games. And what do you mean you're spending 4 hours a day playing this thing? What's wrong with you? You got their play their baseball and their two friends that you're not allowed to see because their parents don't let them outside and go to the park anymore. What's wrong with you people? You need to go outside and you play in the dirt. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with dirt?
Well, I'm thinking, say pee in the dirt?
No, play in the dirt. But
I thought it sounded like you said pee in the dirt.
Well, you can do that too, but don't worry about that. It's just those things that the little kids are supposed to do outside, right? We did that back when I was a kid. We made mud pies. We didn't have water, so we used what we had. But wow, that took a dark turn.
That took a weird turn.
It's been a long week. Anyway.
So you keep telling me.
So I find out about this Reddit, and now you're telling me about, if you had a kid, I would have met them because they would have been ostensibly at Disney when I actually met you face to face.
Yes.
I think that would definitely qualify as an entry on that Reddit if you were a parent and you went to Disney and you did not take your child. Agree?
Oh, agree.
Although
my parents have been to Disney without me.
Well, of course,
I was a grown man at the time, but that's not the point.
That's not the point. If you are... I had never been to a Disney park my entire life up until 2017. And that was the first time I was there. I was in Shanghai, and it was really cool, and it was really weird because Jack Sparrow yelled at me in Mandarin. And I've never quite gotten over that experience.
Oh, I hope the world doesn't implode because I want to be yelled at in Mandarin by Jack Sparrow.
It's so cool. How good and the ride is... I never showed you the video of the ride.
You did show me.
I did? Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yes, you did.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
You showed me and my father.
Okay.
Before we went to ride, the very disappointing ride after seeing that video.
Okay. All rides are not created equal, even if they have the same name. Pirates of the Caribbean Shanghai is
infinitely better.
It's like my top tier rides that I've been on at amusement parks. Not like roller coasters, everything. Number 1, Millennium Falcon. Number 2, Pandora's Flight. That's good.
Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage, right? And then Pirates of the Caribbean Shanghai. It is so good. Oh my word, I love that ride so much. It's just, it is immersive beyond belief. You, aside from like choking to death on like water filling the place, it feels like you are under the ocean and you're going through. It's so cool. But let that lie. Not where I was going with this. I am to the point now where, having been to just that park, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of a cool experience. But then I went to Disney World, and I will say this: going to a Disney park and going to a Disney park with someone like Masters, who knows what they're doing, who knows the lay of the land, who knows how to get from one place to the next, is an entirely different experience. Because you can enjoy things in Disney World on your own, and that's fine. But you get so much more out of it when you have somebody there who knows what they're doing. And so, with that now being in my repertoire of experience, I think everybody, even if you're just going by yourself and you've never been anywhere before and you're not going to the full Disney World experience with all the however many parks are down there now. 4. Okay.
6 technically if you count the water parks. 7 if you count the World of Sports.
Right.
8 if you count Downtown Disney, which is free.
Mm-hmm.
Technically. Not spiritually.
Yeah. Nope. I was there. It ain't there spiritually. You can walk in and go, wow, that's the nicest $300. Yeah, leave that alone. But
leave that where it lies.
Leave that where it lies. But with that being the understanding, like, I think everybody should go to a Disney park. Everybody. I don't care if you don't like Disney. You should still go, because it's not having an appreciation for the movies, the music, and the characters and everything else like that helps. But that's not even the focus. The focus is the experience that they give to you as you walk in and you walk around. It is an entirely different atmosphere to anything else you've ever experienced. It is a totally unique existence on planet Earth, because it is probably the only existence on planet Earth which is uniquely tailored to present one thing. Would you disagree?
Tell me what you think that one thing is.
It is the most magical place on Earth.
That is true.
Anything can happen there. Anything does happen there. Like, we were standing in line for the Millennium Falcon, and we saw 2 stormtroopers come up and arrest a woman out of line because it was her birthday. And that was hilarious. And there was no warning. It wasn't like her friends are standing over to the side, and telling the stormtroopers to go get her.
No, in fact, we tried to make things happen with the stormtroopers, and they just ignored us.
Yes. I mean, well, we didn't really... We could have done more.
I shouted at them fervently several times, and they just kept walking. Well, one time they responded to me, but they didn't really... it was just a basic response. That's weird. I found a 1x hole, all the just randomly generated. Interesting. Okay.
Let's say, and then there's me who got yelled at by Chewbacca, but
well, yes. Well, you were wearing a stormtrooper shirt.
I didn't even think about it. I'm just rocking up to Chewbacca. I love you, Chewbacca.
Yes, you were forcing yourself in front of him, and he almost jack-slapped you for wearing the shirt. You almost got ham-fisted by Chewbacca. If it wasn't illegal for him to lay his hands on you, he probably would have.
Oh, it was so good. And it didn't even occur to me until after you pointed it out, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's definitely a thing.
You're like, Chewbacca almost ran me over. He pushed me out of the way. It's like, well, you are wearing a stormtrooper shirt.
Plan your wardrobe in advance, folks.
The funny thing is, you did plan that in advance. You just didn't think it through.
I'm like, I didn't expect to come face to face. I'm like, Chewbacca's 8 feet tall. They're gonna have anyone else out there, but they're not gonna have Chewbacca. Why are they have Chewbacca? There's nobody that's gonna have Chewbacca. And then they had Chewbacca. I'm like, oh, it's Chewbacca. I turned into a 9-year-old kid again. I was like, oh, it's so cool.
You really did. Can confirm.
I wanted a picture so bad. He was giving me nothing. I do have to applaud their dedication to character.
Stop running away from me, cow. I need your leather.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not one who makes a big deal out of things in that regard. I will play it cool through the entire encounter, and then after it's over, I'm gonna be like, hey, you gotta hear this thing. But you just heard. But when I'm right there, I try to be very calm, casual. At that point, I had no self-control. I was like, Chewbacca!
There was no cool. Like, he was chasing Chewbacca down. It was great. It's like, oh my god, that is my furry best friend. I am going to tackle him.
Well, you should have, because then I wouldn't have made such a fool of myself. That's a Sasquatch joke, in case you didn't get it.
Yeah, yep. Got it.
Oh, man. So much fun. Everybody should go to Disney. It's just so good. Beyond words. I can't wait to go back again. I'm sad that I'm probably not going to be able to go back again this year. Although
I can't wait to go back again either, and it's in 2 weeks.
I know.
Although I'm only going to get to do one park a day for 3 days, and it's at the end of my vacation.
One park a day for 3 days. Well, the first day will be Hollywood Studios?
First day is Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Second day is Hollywood Studios. Third day is Animal Kingdom.
Okay. Not going to Epcot?
There wasn't really much to do at Epcot since they're currently revamping everything.
Okay, so
I didn't even bother trying for one of those.
They're still revamping?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's good. That's a couple-year progress
project.
It won't be done until 2022 at the very earliest.
Okay. So technically, you're saying there's no hurry for me to go back. But yeah, they really.
Oh no, I plan on going.
I know you are going to go back multiple times every year, until you die. But
and even after.
Hey, we're not going to talk about Walt Disney's head in a jar.
My goodness, I am so frigging lost. I don't know where my hole is.
I don't know where I am. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the bad one. Let's do it, Masters.
Oh, okay, let's do it. Yeah, Princess Bride.
So,
I literally just watched this movie the other day.
Yeah, it's now on Disney+.
Not my first viewing, but
yeah,
it's on Disney Plus now. So I watched it while I was doing some work, and oh my goodness, so many quotable moments. And my new favorite is, well, they're just so comfortable. Everybody's going to be wearing them one day. Talking about his mask.
Oh, that is a great one. That is really great. That's hard to argue with.
I found my hole, by the way.
That's gonna let that one drop too.
I forgot to get reads.
So there is talk, and there has been talk of some years past, and I am fighting ardently against it. But now they're actually talking about casting, and the casting looks terrible. For a Princess Bride remake. Like, they're talking about doing Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, and the picture they have makes them look as, like, if you were to take, like, Carrie Elwes, and I forget what her name is. I'm failing as a Princess Bride fan right now. I should have the entire cast memorized. Right down to the little troll thing. But
was the troll not? Oh my goodness, it's not Peter Dinklage.
No, it's not.
But it's the other guy. It's the guy that played. Because when I saw him, I noticed him. I recognized him.
Robin Wright. That's her.
Huh?
Robin Wright is Buttercup, Princess Buttercup.
No,
it's Mel Smith. Mel Smith is
Oh,
is
that
the
guy.
albino. Yeah. Were you thinking?
Yeah,
Of,
that's not who I was thinking
were you
of.
thinking of the giant? You mean Andre the Giant?
No. I know Andre the Giant. Um, hold on. Let me.
Miracle Max?
Uh,
What are you talking about, man?
no, the midget.
The midget. There was a
Or
midget?
am I thinking about something else?
I think you're thinking of something else.
I think I'm thinking of something else.
I don't remember there being a
Maybe Miracle Max was who.
because that's
Who were you talking about?
I was talking about the albino in the pit of despair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that the other day in Kuya's stream.
Uh-huh.
Nobody got it.
Wow.
It was sad.
Everyone needs to take a reference on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What
Rob,
was I watching the other day? The
I don't know.
well, when I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Kenny Baker.
Kenny Baker.
Yeah, R2D2.
Oh. Yeah, he's not in this movie at all.
No, he's not. But I'm trying to figure out what I. No, it wasn't even Kenny Baker.
Oh, you mean the guy who's been in literally the only person who has been in every single Star Wars movie? Or Star Wars everything, really. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The one that was the Ewok.
Yeah. What's his name? Oh, what is his
Wicket?
name? Yeah.
Wicket. Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis, yeah. He's not in this movie either.
What was? Oh, that's what it was. No, he's not. I was watching. So my new favorite YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know her last name. Diane.
I'll find it for you.
I mean, I've got it right here. Diane Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
She was going over the different, or she does a lot of videos, but one video I was watching last night was accents,
Right.
and she was doing the best and the worst accents for the Irish accent,
Uh-huh.
and one of the worst ones she gave was to Warwick Davis for his rendition in The Leprechaun.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's what I was thinking of because you said elf.
I said I said troll.
You said troll.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, my brain went immediately to that image.
I didn't want to just call him the albino, but that's clearly what he was. So I just called him. I don't know what should be more offensive in that place: calling an albino, or calling an albino a troll. I'm not going to ask the next question. That's just going to get me in trouble. But so they're talking about remaking this, and it looks terrible. And as we have seen with just about every single remake that has been out there, they don't try and really remake bad movies. Like, you don't see them remaking the Leprechaun movies. You don't see them remaking Trolls 2. You don't see them remaking anything like that. Birdemic is
making Trolls 2.
Have you ever seen Trolls 2?
What's Trolls 2?
It's the sequel to Trolls.
Oh, Troll. No, my sister keeps telling me to buy it, and I won't.
Don't. It is literally one, and all you need to do. Have you ever seen there's like a clip out there. It was a meme for a while. There's this guy, and he's like in this super wooden acting. He's like, "Oh no, they're eating them alive, and then they're gonna come and eat me. Oh no!" And it's like it's super wooden. It's just terrible. That's from Trolls 2, and like the whole movie is acted that way, and like ostensibly these people were actually trying to be serious about this, and it's like you just can't believe that any of them made it through the casting process. Or that whoever was actually holding the casting process wasn't drunk and high.
Aren't the a lot of the people in those movies YouTubers?
No. This is like from the 70s.
Wait, huh?
Yeah, Trolls 2 is from like the 70s.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Then I thought you were talking about, like the new cartoon Trolls movie.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about then.
Okay. Not the world. Not that. No, it's like a B horror film from the 70s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were on two different wavelengths just then. I was very confused as to why you've seen this movie.
I have not seen either of them. Thankfully, I have no interest in those whatsoever. Is it Trolls? It's got to be Trolls 2. It's not that. I'm very curious now. IMDb. Let's see here. Okay, it's from 1990. Or Troll? Is it Troll 2? Is this the one? Yeah, it's this one. Oh. Bleh. Okay. It's not Trolls, it's Troll. Although there are multiple of them. It is like the epitome of terrible B movie, and it is just the acting is bad, everything is bad. It's just bad. Bad, and it's considered one of the worst movies ever made. But where was I going with this? So like they're not trying to remake these. They're not trying to remake this movie. They're not. Okay, I guess technically they are now trying to remake Howard the Duck, but they're not really.
That's just because people have been crying for it ever since he showed up in one of the Marvel movies.
I know, and it's like, no, learn your lesson. Like, okay, any movie that can take an actress like Leah Thompson and torpedo their career for 20 years is a bad movie and should just be let go. Because Leah Thompson deserved better than that, man. She really did. She really did. We don't know what else she went through in Red Dawn. It's just like we can't allow these things to happen. We have to stop this. Only you can prevent bad movies from ruining good actors' careers.
Oh, it's I got it backwards.
Take some responsibility here. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off that because that's going in bad places if I continue on it. But like, they have the studios have this idea that if they take a good movie that has great ratings that everyone likes, like a cult classic, a true cult classic like The Princess Bride, and they remake it, that they're going to make this broadly appealing thing that's going to be super great for everybody to like, and every single time they try and do this, it fails miserably.
That's a problem with a lot of movies nowadays. Is they want to appeal to as many people as they possibly can.
Right. And
it ruins a lot of movies. And
they've lost the idea that it's not about the appeal, it's about the story. And it's about the acting, and it's about the writing, and it's about the music, and it's all these different things. And as soon as you take your focus off of the craft or the art and you just say, well, how can we make this appeal to the widest audience possible? You can't make everyone happy. You just cannot do it. And when you take something as widely beloved as The Princess Bride, like I said, a true cult classic, there are hardcore fans of this film, and I probably consider myself to be one of them. It hurt me inside a little bit when I couldn't remember Robin Wright's name, because like I should remember Robin Wright's name. Not to get weird about this, but there's a couple of jokes there that came to mind.
I let them slide.
I want them acknowledged in my brain that they were there. I'm going to let them go. Let's just say that Wesley may not have been wrong on some things that he pointed out.
Oh, now the only thing I can think of is from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
That's also a great film. Again, Mel Brooks, give us Spaceballs 2. Please, we need it. Anyway, anyway, so like, and they have this idea that they're going to make all this money if they just remake this thing that everyone likes. And, oh, it's going to be great. Like, no, 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 no. And I'm going to do something that I don't typically do. I'm going to read my own tweet on air because I think I nailed this. Remaking The Princess Bride is less like trying to make lightning strike twice and more like trying to recreate a specific piece of glass created from a lightning strike in sand by airdropping an orangutan into the middle of the Sahara Desert with a depleted car battery. And then just hoping for the best. I mean, like, have you ever seen, again, Mel Brooks, don't die before you give us Baseballs too. Have you ever seen The Producers? Either one?
No.
Okay.
No.
You need to fix that. The Producers it started as a movie and then became a musical, and then took the musical and they re-put that back into a movie. So there's actually two Producers movies. Watch either one. The older one is better. There's Gene Wilder and Zero Motzel, and it is a triumph. The newer one has Matthew Broderick and Will Ferrell and what's his name? The guy who voices Timon. What is his name?
Well, it's not me. That was a horrible.
It was definitely not you. Nathan Lane. There we go. Nathan Lane. And
when are you going to learn that I don't know names?
Well, I do know names. And so it has all these people in it, and it's great. It's not as good as the original, but it's pretty good. It is watchable. There's actually a local theater production of it that might be done sometime this year that I may or may not be trying to wrangle a part in, which I think would be fun.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Maybe, yeah.
Gotcha.
Of course, I'm probably going to end up as the gay director, but that's a whole other story because I can sing his part. But that's, again, a whole other story.
All
But
you want is a dinko.
no. But the whole point of this movie is of the story of the producers is that there is a down and out play producer, Broadway producer, and an accountant who catches him in fraud, where he collects more money to produce a play than he actually needed. And because it was a flop, nobody has to get their money back because they didn't expect it. And so he got to keep a profit because he actually produced a play that was terrible, and he raised a little bit too much money. It's like $2,000, something like that. So it's nothing really to make a big deal out of. They just write it out. And then they get the idea, well, wait a second. What if we design a play from the ground up to be terrible? We get the wrong play, the wrong director, the wrong actors, the wrong music, the wrong this, the wrong that, and we make it so that every single thing in this play is wrong, and we can guarantee ourselves a flop. And then we raise $1 million to finance it. It'll close on the first night. We don't have to pay anyone past that, and we get to keep $1 million for ourselves. Oh, genius, brilliance! Let's do this, right? And so they set off to create this grandiose play of epically bad proportions. They get a play called Springtime for Hitler, found by an ex-Nazi who is still not just a Hitler fanboy, but like a Hitler fetishizer. He's really into Hitler. And then they get this director who is widely regarded as the worst on Broadway, and they get the worst actor who's not really even supposed to be there, and he's like coked out on LSD when he comes in for this audition, which he's auditioning for something else, and he just shows up there, and they get him anyway. At least in the original. In the second one, they do a little something different, but it's every single thing that could be fine-tuned, selected to be wrong, they do. And then they open up on an opening night, and it's a hit. And it's like the biggest hit ever. And I'm sorry, if it's a spoiler, you haven't seen the film, you should go watch it. You will still enjoy it with these spoilers, I promise you. Particularly the original one. Gene Wilder's performance is great. Zero Motzel is fantastic.
I love Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder is, again, one of those national treasures. Should be lauded in history for the amazing person that he was, both on and off the screen. And so, like everything that they do is wrong, and it's this massive hit by accident. And that's kind of what The Princess Bride is. You have an offbeat story from, at the time, a rather unpopular book, which is told very kind of tongue-in-cheek, but absolutely faithful to the source material. Like in the book, there's a grandfather reading a book to his grandson. And it's not like that's a movie thing. That's in the book. And so it is a as close to a one-for-one faithful reproduction as you're probably ever going to get. And it's all told with this very offbeat kind of storytelling, and the directing is not like, they're not trying to flash or pomp or panache anything up. They're just showing it to you. And then even the music is done by Mark Knopfler, who is just kind of, I don't know how much weed he was smoking at the time, but let's just say it shows in his musical choices. But it works for the film. Like, that film would not work with a grand sweeping orchestra. I mean, all you need is like the one trumpet going when Prince Humperdinck comes riding on his horse, and that's all you need. Because that could almost just be taken as like something that's in the program. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess that's just the sound that makes when he shows up. And then it happens over and over again, and it comes kind of like this running joke throughout the movie, and it's beautiful how they run it all together. But all the things by themselves are like, well, you would never do that for a film. Why would you cast, Cary Elwes, this suave, debonair guy, and then have him spend the majority of the film with a mask over his face? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? You're gonna get a non-American pro wrestler to play a main role in your film? What's wrong with you? You're gonna get Manny Patinkin, somebody who we don't even know who he is, and he's gonna be like the crutch and the glue that holds the whole plan together? That's not gonna work. You're gonna get.
My name is Amigo Montoya.
You killed my father. But better to die. And like the whole thing, you're like, why on earth? Like the only like legitimate casting choice for the part that they play is Robin Wright. Like when you look at her, like, oh yeah, I can. She is Princess Buttercup. I gotcha. Follow it through 100%. Yep. Without having seen the final product, she's the only one who really fits the part right up front. And even Prince Humperdinck, he's supposed to be kind of threatening in air, and you kind of pick up really early on that he's really just kind of a pansy with too much power. That's a whole other story. And then like Count Ruker, he's the I love him. His villain is so brilliant because he legitimately does not care about anything. It's like there are people who say, oh, I don't care. No. He would not care. He doesn't care so much that he won't even tell you that he doesn't care. Like when they're when they have I think they just call him Farm Boy through the whole thing, actually. So when they have the Dread Pirate Roberts on the table, and they're doing the thing, and he's like, and then they're shaving off 1 year of his life, and he's like, okay, and they turn off the machine, and he says, I've just taken 1 year off of your life. Please tell me how you feel. And Wesley starts, oh, it's Wesley, there we go. And Wesley just starts going, and his reaction, so deadpan, is just like, how fascinating. And he just starts taking notes. And it's like, this is all just for, not even for his own amusement. It's just curiosity. He's like, I wonder what would happen. Well, what happens if I kill the swordsmith that I designed the sword for? And then when his son comes after me, I, just mark up his face and send him toddling on his way. Oh, well, I don't care. Because he's not my problem. I don't care about him. Maybe he'll turn into something interesting someday. Right now, he's beneath my notice. And that's his whole character. And it works. And it's so brilliant. But on its own, well, that's very uninteresting. A person who is uninterested in everything is an interesting character? How could that work? The whole thing is just this gigantic mess until you put all the different pieces together. Now we have studios going, well, we see how all the pieces are supposed to fit together, so us in our vast, immeasurable wisdom, we're going to come in and we're going to revive this piece, and we're going to turn it into some great new summer blockbuster coming 2022, The Princess Bride Redux. And it's like, no. Stop. You don't understand the uncontrolled chemical reaction that had to happen for this to take place. This is like quantum mechanics type of thing that could not be recreated if you tried. This is Schrodinger's cat coming out of the box, telling you it's alive, closing the door, and being dead again. I mean, like, you can't make it. You cannot force these things to happen. They sometimes just do, and it's magical, and it's wonderful, and it's brilliant, and it creates the kind of fervent, passionate cult following that this movie has. But you can never capitalize it on again, because the magic is unique. It's special, and you cannot take an organic thing like that and recreate it in an artificial fashion and have it ever even hold the faintest candle to how great the original thing was. There are some good remakes. There are. I mean, True Grit is a good remake. And it holds up very well to the original. But it doesn't try, but as much as it is a remake, it doesn't try to be the original. It tries to break off and be its own thing. This is absolutely just a cash grab. It would not surprise me if they try to do to this like what they did with Psycho years ago, where they did a literal shot-for-shot remake of the entire movie, but in color and with
special effects.
No special effects. Well, I mean, a couple special effects, but what's his name? Really tall, dark, curly hair. Used to be thin. Was in Dodgeball. Oh, what's this guy's name?
Wow, why? Oh, wolves. That makes sense.
Dodgeball.
There was just a bunch of wool laying on the ground.
Who's this guy?
Mutton.
Give me a name. Give me a name!
I don't have a name.
I'm getting there.
Jim Tucker.
That's definitely not it. Vince Vaughn. And like, okay, people tried, but it was a complete failure because you can never recreate that magic. You can never go back and take something of that magnitude and just make it happen. It has to happen entirely within its own sphere of influence. And particularly when you take something like that and you go, because you know it's going to happen. Well, some things in that movie are problematic. Like my earlier mistake when I called the albino the troll. That's a problematic moment. Well, we have to fix that. We have to make that so that it doesn't offend anybody. So they're going to start rewriting the story. And we have to change this because it's not right. And we have to change this. And as soon as you start trying to alter things to fit a more modern sensibility, you're changing the fundamental basis of what made it work in the beginning. People don't love things like that because they match a broad appeal. The broad appeal comes from it being a good story, a well-told story, a well-crafted narrative, a well-presented performance. All these things are necessary. But any single one of, again, going back to the casting thing, all these different people, on the face of it, don't really fit the role that they're put in. Yes, Cary Elwes is a swashbuckler, but he spends half the movie with his face covered. And yes, Andre the Giant, he's the gentle brute, but we didn't know that at the time. He was in wrestling, barely speaking a word of English. And off camera, he was a very heavy drinker. And they weren't, like, some days they had to, like, postpone filming until, like, 3 or 4 in the afternoon for him to wake up from his hangover. Because who was going to wake up the giant? There weren't a lot of volunteers for that. Particularly if he had a bad hangover and he started to throw things. I'm not saying that happened. It clearly didn't. Because nobody went to go wake up the giant. They're like, let him just sleep it off. We'll be okay. But like all these little disparate parts that don't work and don't fit together somehow did. And you can't make that happen again. Especially when you start casting people with the idea of, well, they're going to be that character. No. It doesn't work. It can work when it's its own thing. But it doesn't work when you're trying to recreate that. It just simply... Again, it's the orangutan in the middle of the Sahara Desert with a depleted car battery trying to make glass art from light that a lightning bolt did. And it has to be perfect. Because if it's not perfect, everyone will hate it. You're setting yourself up for failure. There are some things that you can do in life that will set you up for success. There are some things you can do in life that will set you up for failure. As studio executives, going forth to make recreations and remakes of classic things that everyone loves already, you're setting yourself up for failure. And everybody on this side knows it and is telling you this. It's a bad, bad, bad idea. We do not want this. We will not pay to go see this. It will be a commercial flop. It will be a review flop. Everyone will hate this. Don't do it. But they still have that thing in the back of their head where they just can't stop themselves. But we might make a whole bunch of money if we do it. No, that's not how this works. Lightning might strike twice, but you don't have that ability. Lightning strikes twice randomly. You will make something and it'll hit. You'll make something and it won't. You'll make something and it'll hit. You'll make something and it won't.
Metaphorically, that works, but realistically, it doesn't. Because if lightning doesn't strike twice, then what is the point of lightning rods?
Like I said, lightning does strike twice, but you have to know what it is that attracts lightning, right?
Fair enough.
This is not what attracts lightning. This is the orangutan sitting in the middle of the Sahara Desert, doing Lord only knows what with the car battery. We don't want to know. Might be chewing on it. Might be throwing it around. Might be doing other things. Going to leave the orangutan in the desert. You're trying to make an identical piece of glass art through these totally randomized means, and that was created through these totally randomized means, and you're not looking at what it was that first created it. It was a lightning strike. It was something that was unpredictable. It was something that you were unable to foresee coming. Because you can say, okay, well, when the lightning strikes, we're going to have our lightning rod up. We're going to have everything prepared for when that lightning strikes. We've found the thing that attracts the lightning. And that is a good story. It's not okay. So I was attempting to date this girl for a while, and I don't think I'm trying to do it anymore. Pretty sure I'm not trying to do it anymore. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm not trying to do it anymore.
Not trying, or just not successful, so giving up?
Well, she doesn't like The Princess Bride as a movie, which is kind of where I was going with this.
Okay, done.
That's kind of where I was going with this. There was a reason I was bringing her into this. It's because, which is kind of the point. Not everybody likes this movie, but enough people do.
Those people are wrong.
Those people are wrong. Those people are dead wrong. Those people are very wrong.
I thought I didn't like this movie, but that was because I hadn't seen it yet.
Right. And so and I'm not going to say that everybody has to like the same things that I like. Okay, fine. You have the right.
Your spouse should probably like some things that you like.
Yes, that's fair. And that's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make here is that there are people who do not like this film. And I can allow them to not like this film. They can wallow in that same misery for the rest of their life without ever having noticed the joy that is the Princess Bride. They can do that. But that kind of proves my point in saying that if you tried to remake The Princess Bride to attract that person who doesn't like it, the first thing they're going to hear is, "Oh, The Princess Bride. I don't like that movie. I'm not going to go see it." And then all the people who do like The Princess Bride are going to hear, "You're trying to remake the thing that I already like, and your track record on doing that is not good. I'm not going to go pay to go see that." You're setting yourself up for failure. Everybody who either likes or does not like that thing have already made up their mind they don't want to go see your thing. Again, sometimes 1 in a million chance you can have a true grit, and a remake really does come back better, or not better. It's not better. It's on even par. And that might just be my bias as a John Wayne fan, but that's where I'm standing on that one. But
Village.
But understand that the lightning rod that was put there, that created the art in the first place, that created that beautiful glass sculpture, was not broad appeal. It was, hey, I found a story that I want to tell. And I'm going to tell this story to the best of my ability with the tools that I have available to me. And I'm going to run with it. And that, back when this movie was made, I just don't know if I have the funds to be able to pull in all the big name actors I want. I might be able to get a cameo from someone like Billy Crystal maybe, but I mean, I don't know if I have this. So I'll try and get him. And I just need a big guy. Who's the biggest guy I can see on TV? There's a gigantic wrestler. Let's pull him in here. Man, I really wish I had like a really good, strong leading man type, like let me think. Like Patrick Swayze or something. Oh man, that'd be great. He could be a swashbuckler, but I probably don't have the budget for Patrick Swayze. So who could play like just kind of a decent, good-natured rogue? I heard about this Cary Elwes guy. Maybe he can do something. We got to have a decent princess. We just gotta. So maybe I can call in a favor. I can get someone like Robin Wright in here, and she'll be my princess for me. And then man, I don't know how I'm gonna make any of this work. And I don't have any budget left over for the music. Who am I going to get to do the music? Mary, who's this? Does your stoner brother I'm convinced that Mark Knopfler was high off just everything when he wrote that music, but it was beautiful and I love it. And I listened to the soundtrack alone. And the ending song is great. That's also one of my favorite songs.
We'll just not have libraries anymore.
And so you have all these beautiful things that on their face make no sense, and they come together and they make something wonderful because they've focused around a central point, that there's a story here and there's a value in the story, and we should all come together and tell this story. And when you try and artificially recreate that, you just fall flat on your face every single time. There's no way around it, because you're no longer trying to tell a good story. You're trying to just capitalize on a piece of art that someone else made. It's like people who go to like the Louvre or something and somehow or another get permission to stand in front of the Mona Lisa and to put an easel down, a blank easel with a blank canvas on there, and they can go and they can recreate the Mona Lisa as closely as possible in every single brushstroke as they make, and they can make it look almost exactly like the Mona Lisa. But the Mona Lisa will always be a priceless work of art. And as good as it is, the recreation that you were able to make, standing there, copying every detail ever so closely, as nearly as you could, will only be as valuable as it is to you hanging on your own wall. Because nobody else cares about it. It's all about having the same magic and impact that the original had. And you just cannot artificially recreate that. It must come organically. It must come naturally. It's not something that you can force into place by trying to tell 4 different stories or put all these different ideas in there. It comes from a true understanding of the focus and the intent of one story, of one thought, of one idea. And we've lost that. We've lost that as a society. Yes, sir?
I need leather.
You need leather. What does that have to do with me?
I killed horses.
Oh. Curse you, masters. But yeah. Yeah. Please stop. Let the orangutan go back to the wild and take away the car battery. He doesn't need it. Just let good things be good things. Let well enough alone. Don't try and force things into place. Because like I said, the people who already like what's there aren't going to like it. And the people who don't like what's already there, they aren't going to like it either. Or they'll never even give it a chance to like it. Just accept that at one point in time, something great came forth and rejoice in that. Be happy in that. But don't try and recreate it. Don't try and, manifest the same reaction as what came before. Because the people that you're going to bring it up to now are not going to be the same people as were thrilled with it back then or who are now. They're just not. the window has closed on that. Yeah. Anything to add?
All right.
Anything to add into
I
that,
have
Masters?
absolutely nothing to add to that.
Okay.
I am not as passionate about that as you are.
That's
My goodness.
That's usually what this
And that
ends
was
up
the
as.
Gavi Power Hour.
About that, yeah. I think I was only down to 40 minutes tonight. I think I was only down to 40 minutes.
So I just want to point out that I am really having a good time with myself playing Minecraft on peaceful. It's so peaceful.
Masters.
I'm just going around murdering cows and stuff right now.
I'm so glad that you're having fun murdering
I need leather.
things.
I need leather so that I can make an enchanting table,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can have enchantments on my pick.
No, Masters.
Yes.
I'm not saying we have to. I'm just pointing this out here. That if we're going to keep up our trend, we need to wrap things up the next minute and a half.
Yeah, I had the feeling earlier that it was getting about that time as you were ranting. But I just wanted to end it on something, not a rant.
Okay.
I'm enjoying my peaceful Minecraft.
So rather than rant about the failing entertainment industry, you wanted to throw in there that you were having a great time committing mass genocide against digital cows. I love this.
And horses.
And horses. Why the horses, man? Why the horses?
Because they give me leather. And I need leather. I need to make bookcases.
There's something wrong with you.
I was also thinking, while I was murdering the horses, which I had an obvious answer after I thought it, but why does nobody ever breed horses anymore to get that perfect horse?
Because they just make tunnels through the nether.
And yeah, and also elytra. Ooh, that was...
Yeah.
I almost killed myself.
Yep.
I almost died on a peaceful world.
Yep.
All right. But I have 29 leather. I don't think that's enough.
It's enough for a suit of armor. Which I do make from time to time.
I never make... Well, I don't have to make armor right now. Although, I did instinctively make a shield with the first piece of iron that I got.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was that.
I don't know if I've ever willfully made a shield. But if we're gonna end quote on time, we got to wrap it up here quick. Anything else to throw in here, or you want to keep going?
Nope, I'm good if you are.
I'm good if you are.
I think we went over all the topics we didn't make up.
There's one more, but that we can hit that next time. So for that, thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next time. The one of you who actually makes it to the end. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. And remember, if anyone else actually gets here, 2 times speed is recommended.
Oh, absolutely.
Have a good night, all. Goodbye.